Hello, this is going to be a collective reading for July 2025. Collective, July 2025. Here we have, for my collective, curiosity. I think I got the right amount of table and height and everything going on now. Night and balance. Something is about balancing the darkness, and I feel like something about the darkness is very beautiful. Something is very enticing, and you're having to balance that out, because too much of anything, that's what I always tell Taurus. Taurus and Libra represent beauty, but Libra is a balanced beauty, whereas Taurus can be an overabundance of something, and then that in itself is, it can be intimidating. It can be, there's so many things that being too beautiful or too, something, too much of something, even if it's beauty, isn't good. So Taurus has to watch that overabundance of the beauty, because it can be very intimidating. And they have to bring that out in their personality, like help people, be more comfortable with them. But yeah, with this, I feel like there's something very beautiful about you balancing this dark side of yourself. And maybe you're helping others do it too. It's giving me the dark feminine energy. Somebody's curious about you. This is an 11 card. It's giving me like you coming into balance. Justice. There's so much about balance here. 3-3, that's a balance. 4 is about balance. 2, the 11 card. These are all cards. All these cards are about relationships, and I just feel like it's not really just relationships with other people. I feel like it's your relationship with yourself, and something about the dark energy. I feel like somebody is very curious with you. I feel like this is somebody who could be a soulmate, or you could just be curious about something else and you're being warned. There's something in the distance. There's something you don't see. Someone's looking out for their own self-interest and they're a scavenger. This is why they want you to balance something out, or not come across too abundant, because somebody's going to be looking at you as a target. This is really what this is giving me. There's some kind of upheaval that someone is trying to plan, so I feel like you need to not only be balanced really within yourself, but you need to balance out how you come across to others. Because there's somebody curious about you, and I feel like it might not be a good thing, or it could be a good thing, but it's about how you balance it out. Something is shaky, it's rocky though. And this is giving me magician, alchemy energy, having to, or even temperance, having to really, really balance something out with the temperance. Because I mean, if you pour a little too much of this, it might mess up the whole flavor. The temperance card gives me like a bartender card too, like mixing drinks and stuff like that. And with them drinks, if you mess it up, I mean, you could fix it, but it's just very, a little bit too much can ruin the drink. Definitely giving me Taurus and Libra energy, Empress, people watching you, somebody seeing your abundance and wanting to target you. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. Something in the night. Okay, so maybe there's something hidden that has to do with some kind of completion. Something is complete, is balanced out, but something is still hidden about it. There's a 7 of Pentacles here with the curiosity, somebody working on something, somebody sowing, planting a seed for something. Seven. We got 7, 7, and 10, 10. And it's so funny, because this is about victory and completions, but if this is like somebody this is a family. 7 of Wands, somebody is having to defend themselves. You're going to have to defend yourself. This isn't victorious. There's this 10 of Pentacles is in reverse. Somebody was working on something. Man, I'm telling you, somebody tried to make you a target. I wasn't trying to keep pulling, but I'm just going to put this here. And I'll just pull another one so we could do like a little pyramid reading or something like that. So I didn't really need to do that. Knight of Cups in the reverse. With the 2 of Swords in the upright, you needing to make a decision. A head over heart. This is something in the future. Judgment. This could be something about some money and you having to defend yourself. Sounds like court. It could be court. Somebody betrayed you and they worked on something, was premeditated. Somebody could have tried to get you knocked off. 3 of Pentacles. This was somebody you were working with. You were building something with this person specifically, and they betrayed you. There's judgment coming for this because this was very malicious. This was thought out, planned out with this Knight of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody that was working on something. Yeah, they were actively working on something, trying to bring this message in, but it was very malicious. This person is they're emotionally immature, and they're in and out. It's like they want you to be something that they're not, and they're judging you about it too, with the Judgment here. But there's judgment coming in for them. And it's like 3 crows here. I feel like it's for this group of people or this collaboration, something that happened in the night, hidden. It's being balanced out. I feel like you already know about it. This 2 of Swords here is like the Minor Arcana to the High Priestess. It's knowing something, contemplating it though, making, like, sitting there and thinking about all of the details And she has the water in the background too, usually, not in this card. But this is about emotions, putting the swords before the water, you know, and it's processing those things. It's not just ignoring it, walking away, or saying, oh, I know this, you know, I feel like this. This is sitting there and thinking about the offense. If you have to go through the emotions of it too, because the waters are in the background, but it's put in the mind what is the best plan to move forward, to cut this off, to sever this. What is the best way to do this? That's what so it's thinking about everything, understanding the emotions that were behind it, but being smart, doing the wise thing. And it's about relationships, and I mean, it's not about you by yourself, but it is, because again, this 11, this twin flame, this soulmate energy, you need to be this 2. You know, the 2 is also like, it looks like an 11. So you need to have your mind and your emotional energy intact. I don't know if I said that right. You know something. Not only do you know it, you're going over it in your head. You're not running from it. The pain, the anger, all of that. You're letting yourself sit there in that moment and go through it within yourself. Taking note of how you feel, but making a plan for forward movement. Doing the thing that you know is wise to do. In order to get back control of what you're doing. You know, you want to have, this is so you can have control. Get to a place of being in control of your own moves and your own steps. I like this card better than the High Priestess card, because it is that way. Whereas the High Priestess, she's part of a group, she's part of a society, high society, she's keeping secrets. This is more of a solo mission, but you're contemplating relationships, you're contemplating your interaction with others, you know. But it's about yourself. You're needing to put yourself first, or to check yourself to realize if you did something wrong, or, you know, if you handled something in a way that, okay, you might have to get some slack or flack from how you handled something, or you might have to give a little since you did this, or take a little, you know. It's that kind of energy. It's facing it. It's a very hard energy to me. It's kind of like the High Priestess, but it's not even necessarily not saying anything either. It's getting your words together so you know what you're going to say. And this person is they don't care. Emotionally, they don't care. So you don't need to be in your emotions. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. Something is about money. Something tangible. Something wasn't a victory for somebody. Somebody took something and gave to somebody else, or took too much. Something wasn't balanced, and it's going to be balanced. Okay, this is too many. Sorry guys. The Temperance in the reverse. Something was definitely, extremely unbalanced, even demonic. You know, ooh, the King of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, somebody is over emotional with the Knight of Cups. He sent his boys in. you know, to be mean, to bully you, to emotionally manipulate you. Something is very imbalanced. Somebody could be drinking a lot. They could be gaining weight. There's some kind of upheaval coming up for somebody. For this King of Cups in the reverse, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. We also have Sagittarius here with the Temperance in the reverse. Somebody was on demon time. Somebody could definitely be drinking and doing stuff while they're drunk, you know, being mean, bullying. Somebody is not feeling well. Or they're contemplating something, thinking about something. Same kind of energy as the as the Two of Swords, but more dire, you know. Like the Two of Swords is you're not sick yet, you know. You're by yourself. You're like, okay, I gotta make a choice, but now this is like somebody, and then somebody's work is like somebody's having to think about something. Yeah, somebody might be really curious about you. Ace of Wands and the Tower in the reverse. Scorpio, Aries energy. Again, upheaval, but I feel like here, I feel like there's going to be some upheaval, but somebody's going to have the strength to be able to maybe even turn this into some kind of creative new venture that gives you some kind of passionate new beginning, you know, within yourself. Again, I keep saying this is something about somebody within someone's self. And then these sevens and this 7-2 is about really having to defeat something. You went through something. The Chariot is like a war vehicle. You know, the 7 of Wands, you're defending yourself. The 7 of Pentacles, you're really putting work in. This is something, this is about putting in the hard work. And then, you know, and then the 7 of Wands is having to be the bigger person too. Above something with this 10 of Pentacles, above this family or this, yeah, it's something about this balance. I feel like this is very karmic. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wheel of Fortune came out here. We have the Magician and we have the 5 of Pentacles. So I think somebody, again, with this Ace, I feel like somebody's going to I feel, first of all, we have the Magician here, Gemini, Virgin energy. A lot of Major Arcana so far with these cards. I mean, I'm pulling more of them. But you got Judgment as the only Major Arcana that came out. So this is the main energy. And Pluto, I think, is going something with the moon. Pluto is doing something with the moon. And it's favorable. And we have this Knight here. It's something about this. There is a very emotionally unhinged King of Cups in the reverse, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They could be really doing a lot of drinking. And I feel like you're avoiding a Tower moment somehow by using the tools that you have around you, using what you have. I feel like you're focusing on what you have. Maybe, I feel like I feel like somebody is definitely out in the cold. They might not feel well. This could be what this Four of Swords is too. And it might be because of the Magician is in reverse. I feel like these people, somebody is getting some new beginnings, a new start with the Magician. You're going to create something very fresh and new, and something that's going to satisfy you on all levels. Swords, you know, the Magician has everything, every suit. You're going to be fulfilled. Something that you're working on, though. You don't have it yet, but you got the Magician, and then you got the Ace of Wands. So this is like a blessing from God, or maybe you're just coming into your energy as the Magician. You know, you're starting over after closing out. You're leaving the Fool energy and going into the game again, basically. You're like, okay, I know what I want to do now. I feel like somebody's going to get sick. I think it's this King of Cups. Somebody, because he's been doing some kind of demon something, I'm telling you. I feel like somebody's going to get well and somebody's going to start getting sick, because this feels vampiric. And I mentioned twin flames with the 11s and the 2s and stuff like that. This Pluto is here too with this. Something is going to happen. This Tower moment is going to come, but it's going to come slow. Maybe someone is healing and I feel like somebody might be healing and thinking, and maybe they're going to come into some kind of new understanding while they're healing and thinking with this Magician. But I feel like somebody's out in the cold, or they're financially stagnant because maybe they had to stop and heal and think. But somebody's going to get some new energy, Ace of Wands, and it's going to prevent a Tower moment, or it's going to turn it around. Maybe you're going to be able to get through it. Maybe the Tower is going to come, but you'll still be able to get through it with the Ace of Wands here. And the Seven of Pentacles, somebody's been working on something. Maybe you've been doing your best, but this asshole over here has got demons and everything else. He's being unfair, not giving you your money. That's what this is. You've been working. Somebody's been unfair with your money. It's put you out in the cold. But you have the strength to endure this, to overcome it. And you will, with the Tower in the reverse. It's still going to be hard. There's still going to be things that come in, but you'll be able to get through it. Sorry, this is a little longer than I wanted it to be, because I kept pulling, and those were like, I couldn't get rid of the Judgment card because there was no Major Arcana. So I had to keep it. Some kind of upheaval coming in. That's what you're going through, or it's coming in, but you'll be able to get through it, I think. 8 of Cups in the reverse. This is not walking away from something that you built. You're defending something. You're standing on higher ground with something, but you're not walking away. So this is you learning how to defend yourself even in a loving way. You know, like, this is giving me like the Piscean energy, like the escapist energy, but that's not you anymore. You're not running away from something, or maybe somebody thought you were running away with the 9 of Wands in the reverse. I think somebody thought that you were running away, but you weren't. You were trying to figure, you were standing on higher ground. You were trying to get on higher ground. Yeah, you were trying to see, they was trying to have you down, outnumbered and all kind of shit. And you knew better. You knew something. And I think that this person really thought that they had the jump on you or something, because it may have seemed like you walked away or you tried to escape or you couldn't handle something. Death. Wow. To a 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So this is something... This is binding. Whatever was done with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse is over. Someone cannot do this anymore. Scorpio energy. Pluto energy. Again, this Pluto energy is coming in strong. 3 of Swords in the reverse. Somebody is not heartbroken about something. They could give a shit. They don't care. They don't care. They are, in fact, this death coming in, this ending coming in is going to bring somebody into some kind of heartfelt fulfillment. I feel like this is saying too that you made the right decision. In this 2 of Swords, where you sat, you thought about it, you didn't run from it emotionally. Now you know what you have to do, how you have to defend yourself. So you came up with all that when you sat there and thought about things and you were honest with yourself. Definitely giving me Hermit energy too, but again, High Priestess, but not in a group or society, and not worrying about, you considering the group and society because it's part of the reality. That's what this is about too. It's about knowing how to make the plan with everything around you. And you got this Magician card. Knowing how to consider yourself and put yourself first when there's relationships and entanglements and things involved. And I have another card where she's sitting there and there's 2 people about to fight, but she's sitting there. That's what that is too. It's about your relationships and how you handle things. And do you want these 2 to fight? Are you trying to pin them against each other? Or do you want things to stay calm? Because you know that if you make a certain decision, it could cause upheaval. It's about decisions. It's about what you do. It's not a set thing. And you're not the only player involved, although you need to worry about yourself in this situation. Put yourself first. Make sure that you are catering to yourself when you're doing this. You're first, 4 of Cups, but not your first and, shady to everybody else, because that's not making a good decision for yourself. That's bringing in bad karma. You're thinking about a situation, being honest with yourself about your involvement and what you deserve from that involvement. Rather it's bad or good. You're being honest with yourself, cutthroat with yourself. These are swords. And you're there by yourself and you're contemplating, and there's the water behind you. Those emotions. You're doing the smart thing. But it's not that you're completely negating the emotions of yourself and everybody else. You're putting those into perspective. I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain things the right way. It takes me 10 minutes to say something that should take 2 seconds. 3 of Pentacles. Then you have the 4 of Cups. Yeah, you're out in the cold from this group of people that you were working with that betrayed you. They straight up betrayed you. Yeah, they took an opportunity from you. And here, look at this High Priestess. This is someone that's part of the group. She's not like her, This is someone that's part of the group. She might feel like an outsider sometimes. So this could be you. But now this is you outside of the temple. You know, they're out, she's out in the open in the Two of Swords, outside with the lake behind her. This High Priestess is in the temple. You know, she's still there. She's still part of that group, part of that network. You know, and somebody here, this could be this High Priestess in the, you know, in the Four of Cups, but somebody missed an opportunity. This could be you. Maybe you left, you know, the group because you were starting to feel something. That's that energy too. And then you sat and thought about it. Piscean energy. Yeah, you missed out on something tangible because of a group that you were associated with. Because they betrayed you. I feel like you know this, but I feel like you were just not, you were still there. You weren't doing anything about it. Now you're thinking about what moves to make. And there's a blessing that is from this too, that maybe you don't see yet, that maybe you will see. Again, I feel like you handled this right. I feel like this is saying you handled this right. You know you handled it right too, because you can come out of heartbreak from it. That means that all those, that water in the back, those emotions in the back, you did that right. Somebody really went within and really came out with the right answers and how to handle something. And that's not easy. People don't do that often anymore. Judgment with this Queen of Swords here and the Hierophant. This is higher power. This is Eight of Wands too. Fast movement. This judgment is coming in swiftly. And it's going to be strong judgment. Wow, with the Hermit here. I feel like it's a whole lot of judgment. Like, you know, it's like the Hermit and the Hierophant. You know, this is like, and it's in the upright with the Eight of Wands. This is like the Calvary coming in, the magical Calvary. This is church and state coming in, you know, like the government of the magical forces. This is God and his prophets. You know what I'm saying? The Hangman. Funny I said God and his prophets. Somebody was trying to sacrifice a prophet, giving me Jesus, Christmas energy. Somebody needed to see something from another point of view. Some kind of group that they were dealing with. I feel like you're going to run into better groups though now. Especially once you bring in this balance with yourself, you're going to start bringing in better people to work with. I feel like with you being this High Priestess and this, I feel like these are people that you're going to be working with that are into the same thing that you are, but maybe they're just not part of the same group that you were part of. Two of Cups in the reverse. This is something that you were supposed to, somebody was supposed to do something with you, be there with you. You were supposed to do something with somebody. Somebody was a soulmate. And they messed it up. It's over. You could have been a Queen of Cups and now you're a Queen of Swords because you're different. You're in different energy now. This person messed it up. Y'all aren't the same anymore. You know, he's in reverse and you had to move on to another energy. See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you didn't move on. Like you didn't move on like he did. You moved on in a whole nother energy that wasn't even yours. A Queen of Swords, having to be a Queen of Swords when you're probably a Queen of Cups, really. You know, and you want to be loving. You want to be, you know, especially with this, I feel like this was like your soulmate, someone, the person you were supposed to put something together with. But I feel like this person put some kind of evil entity on you, and it awoke in your spiritual gifts. But I feel like you are still there with these people. I feel like, man, these people, I feel like this made you hell of her, though. You're the High Priestess and you're the Magician right here. Then you're the Queen of Swords. You started attracting in Hierophant energies, and I feel like because it's how you handle things, you gotta stand in your higher power. This is giving me Pisces reading, where I was like, a big boss is watching you. Be on your best boss behavior. This is what it's giving me, but even on a spiritual level, like the big spirits are watching you, like somebody is going to ascend or not. Or I feel like you're not going to be judged harshly or in a negative light, but you have a chance, an opportunity to like a whole new world. Like a whole new world. Look, Judgment and the Knight of Cups in the upright. Yeah, somebody made the wrong judgment. And they're being judged on this because they came in as a Knight of Cups in the reverse and messed up the relationship when they were supposed to come in the upright. The Knight of Cups in the upright. And they're being judged. We got Judgment here twice. And then this third party situation. Somebody was messing around, fooling around, dealing with other women, and juggling you. Making you confused, trying to make you crazy, trying to make you think that, you tripping. I'm with you. You always accusing me of something. You always tripping. You always, what you doing? Like that kind of energy. Which is something you got to learn to move from anyway. Eventually, we all go through that energy. But you have the Lovers in the reverse. Something was very karmic. The Lovers in reverse usually looks like the Judgment card sitting there. Because again, I always say this is karmic love. The twin and all that, that's Adam and Eve. That's karmic. It's the start of karma on that planet. The apple and Eve had the pimp. That's what the snake represents. The snake got the smooth tongue, and she went and took the apple that the dude gave her to her husband. It's an attachment. She had an attachment. Eve is not, she's evil. And then when Lilith tried to help her out, she went and told on Lilith, and then tried to act like it was her wisdom the Lilith gave her was her own wisdom. She's weak. They exalt her because she's weak. That's why they like Isis. Isis represents the transgender. Transgender men are lower base men. They will be betas. So the alpha could be over them. They're weaker men. And the women, feminine energy is different than beta masculine energy. We're different. We'll battle that. We'll come up against the energy in a passive way that's still extremely strong. It's not the same. It's not, I'm the bottom. It's not nothing like that. But they tried to make it like that because that's what Lilith and Adam was about. She was riding him, and he don't want to be the bottom of her, though. She, like, what are you confused? These men. He didn't want her riding him. He wanted to be on top of her. He felt like dominated, and that's what they want to be more than anything. They want to be dominated, but he couldn't accept that, or he didn't know himself. It's the karma. It's karmic. These men don't know what they want. They're obsessed with women that don't want to bow down to them. They'll try to ruin your life, but that's what a man is supposed to be. He's supposed to be too focused on his woman to be, you know, so when the man is focused on you, he doesn't understand that's what he's supposed to be, because they've been given this, oh, you're the king of the jungle, you should have 5 lionesses. You know, they don't get that when they're stressed and worried and tripping out and enamored, you know, that's a good thing, especially if you're not being the woman that you want to destroy is probably the one that you want to be with and that you need to be with. And the reason that you don't understand that is because of the way that they've taught you how to be. It's so arrogant, so there's no balance. Look, Temperance in reverse. I'm too wealthy, I could do whatever I want to do. I could, you know, there's no happiness there. There can't be. It's imbalanced. It's imbalanced. You're going to get bored with it. And then when you look around and you turn around, you're going to be too ruined to be able to get with somebody that fulfills you, because everything is going to offend you. And that is why, like in Buddhists, they tell you too much of a God. Just said that in the beginning of the reading with Taurus and Libra. Too much beauty can be a bad thing. Women die because they're so beautiful. They're too beautiful. They get all the time. People, you know, crimes of passion. Sometimes, and it's and you know, it's a shame that you can't just be who you are. If you're that damn fine, you just can't be fine without, you know, people taking offense to it. But they will, and in a way you have to know when to tone things down and when not to tone things down. When to shine, when it's your time to shine and be the baddest ever, or when you should just kind of blend in, because it's gonna help you, you know, live to fight another day. Or even put you in a position where you're able to fight better because you're not making the wrong person feel threatened. Do you know what I mean? That's what this reading is about. It's about balancing out the night, the dark, the light, the warnings, understanding and not being afraid. With the escapism, a lot of these cards are about, you got the Hermit, you got the High Priestess, you got the 2 of Swords, you got the Hangman, all these thoughtful cards, 4 of Swords, thought, 4 of Cups, you know, being away, being in solitude, and thinking, reasoning things out. And you might have to take some cuts here and there to balance something. Is very, like, Judgment is here twice. I feel like somebody needs to just, like, tread lightly. Because somebody's watching you. Like, again, I said the Pisces reading. And it's all about how you handle your energy. Even if you are so damn beautiful that, oh my God, you know, but you might want to come across a little more down to earth, but still be, you know, like, stunning. I told this story before, but this reminds me of my niece. So my niece was getting teased when she was going to school because of her clothes and stuff like that. They didn't have a lot of money. None of us did. Well, I was dancing, so I was making money. So, you know, I was teased and stuff. My mother was horrible to me. She didn't buy me nice clothes and stuff like that. But when I started dancing and stuff like that and making money, and my sister told me about my niece being teased and stuff. Oh, I'm Sagittarius. She was iceberged out with everything she needed. I mean, every day she had the latest thing, the most expensive, to where her friends started feeling insecure, right? So my sister came and told me, you know, Monet doesn't want to have all these really expensive clothes anymore because it's starting to make her friends feel insecure. These are the same people that were making her feel insecure. But see, this is about balancing out and about relationships, because Libras are about balance and they're about relationships. This isn't about, yeah, screw what they think, I'm finna do me. You know, this is politics too. You know what I mean? This is about still being who you are, but being able to fit in, make people feel comfortable, make people feel special as well. And, you know, being able to level things out in that way. And I feel like that's going to really bring this justice in for you, this judgment. Because it's going to really, I'm telling you, something about you standing in this higher energy. Dude, I'm telling you, with this freaking Hierophant here, with the judgment, something is being judged, and the better you handle it, the higher you handle it, the more higher mind, higher level you handle it, the better it's going to be for you. You might end up, you know, in a whole nother spiritual lane. You know, like you might end up sitting next to the Hierophant, or going into the Hermit. You might end up becoming part of an even bigger group, an even better group, an even more established, high power group that is, you know, about morals, with the Taurus energy here. Hierophant energy, about morals and values and sticking to them, and that they are very important for the stability of things. Without morals and values, Taurus is not there. You know what I'm saying? And you need that stability with this 5. This 5 is upheaval. This is about, you know, but not Taurus. Taurus, this is as much upheaval as you want to bring. Okay, I'm the Hierophant. This is about values, morals, tradition, what I've done that has worked thus far and what hasn't, and we have to figure it out, because that's the best way to do that there. You know, there's some truths coming out too. And that's another thing. You might be helping a whole higher learning, higher realm see something they didn't see. Dude, this is powerful. I feel like somebody is like, rainbow body. Like you might ascend into rainbow body, like become a prophet. And maybe you weren't even like that before. You were just like, you know, a high priestess. You knew some things, but you know, but it's about how you handled yourself. If somebody is watching you, it's about how you handle this. Are you going to be petty like everybody else, you know, around you? Or are you going to be a goddess even? Are you going to prove to be a goddess or a god? Male or female? That's what I have for you, collective. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. I hope I didn't mess it up by trying to explain too much. I stopped doing that, so now it feels weird, because I was trying to make the readings shorter. I used to explain a lot, but I think most people kind of, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here. I love you, and I will see you next time. Peace.